Uncle Simon? Uncle Simon, do you want your hot chocolate? Uncle Simon, do you hear me? Do you want your hot chocolate? Uncle Simon!
Garbage head, I'm right behind you. There's no need to yell. Well, my wilting blossom, what's on your mind?
Your hot chocolate is ready. You told me you were going to take a nap. Sometime trying to extending yourself, Uncle, just sufficiently to let me know where you are on occasion.
Well, Barbara, I think I can narrow that down for you. If I'm not upstairs in my bedroom or in the study, then I'm downstairs in my laboratory. Wherever I am, you can bring the hot chocolate. And if I'm not, I've dropped dead en route, and you can bring me a bottle of formaldehyde and a rose.
Such a humorous uncle. Should have gone to burlesque.
Well, I guess I'd have been more comfortable there than you. You ever dance, Barbara?
I'm very busy, Uncle.
You ever cut loose and dance a fast Charleston? No, most unlikely, most unlikely. You know, you're the only woman I know who looks as if underneath her clothes she wore clothes. You have all the grace and femininity of a high-button shoe.
And you? Uncle Simon, go on.
Let's see if you can compensate for the fact that you're a passionless vegetable by speaking your mind.
If I'm a passionless vegetable, it's because my gardener is an ancient relic made out of dry skin and ice water.
Not bad, not bad, not bad.
You know, if I prod you hard enough, you can scramble up to the occasion, or at least part way.
Well, my angular turnip, what else is new with you? You say you made some hot chocolate today, Any other soul-stirring projects you applied yourself to? I see you tried to open the drapes in the bedroom and hall.
And I see you close them. I clean up after you. I try to clear away some of the debris you always leave behind. What is this contraption, A room straightener, perhaps? Tell me, Uncle, where does this belong?
Put it back where it was. You've been told 1,000 times not to disturb things.
I could have put it away when I swept out the cellar, but as usual, your laboratory door was securely bolted. I would like to find out where you put it down there.
Yeah, I'll bet you would, and someday you shall. Until then, keep your spindle-shanked carcass out of my laboratory. Now go and get me some hot chocolate, and use the English bone china cup. Barbara, why do you stay here?
I was under the impression that I was needed.
You are. That explains why I keep you here, but it doesn't remotely suggest why you stay.
I stay because I live for the moment when I can see you buried. When I come back from your funeral, I'm going to open a bottle of wine. I want to be compensated, Uncle Simon, for 25 years of being shrieked at, insulted, berated, humiliated, and stepped on like an old rug. Is that sufficiently honest for you?
Well, I wish you well, my good and faithful Barbara, but unasked I offer you this observation. If you had an ounce of gristle or an inch of intestines, you'd have murdered me years ago. And as for your 25 years of abject misery and unspeakable indignation, you deserve it, kid. Now go and get me some hot chocolate.
Mr. Simon Polk, who has lived out his life in gleeful rage, and the young lady who beat the hasty retreat is Mr. Polk's niece, Barbara. She has lived her life as if in each ensuing hour she had a dentist appointment. There's a third member, soon to be seen. He now resides in the laboratory and is the kind of character only to be found on The Twilight Zone.
Well, what have we here?
I was looking for...
Looking for what?
I thought perhaps you might show me what you were building.
You'd like to know, wouldn't you? That's the only character trait you share with normal women. Curiosity. Ineffable curiosity. Well, one day you'll know what I'm building, but until then, you night-crawling imitation of the female gender, if I catch you sneaking around outside my door, I'll break your head. Now go on upstairs and engage yourself in a nerve-wracking game of dominoes.
Tell me, Uncle Simon, why do beasts like you stay alive so long?
What's that again?
You heard me. Why do decent men die and animals like yourself keep living on?
Because in most cases, mine in particular, we have something to live for. I have you to live for, you crooked-seamed grubber. That's why I keep this decrepit heart beating and these over-the-hill lungs breathing. I know how dedicated you are to seeing me die.
Who came here 25 years ago when you were crippled and sick and couldn't move? Who came here and nursed you and kept you alive?
You did. But why did you come? Was it out of love, Barbara? I'll tell you why you came. You stayed on month after month, year after year. Every prayer that came out of your mouth was one that I'd die before the next morning. So don't go mouthing your sweetnesses at me, you thin-lipped, toothpick-legged conover. Everything you did for me, you did for greed. Greed! Greed so big, so thick, and so heavy that it blotted out even the hatred inside you. But let me tell you something, you money-sick crone. You'll get paid off in due course. But before that, you'll pay through every bone in your body. You'll pay, you ugly harpy, you... Barbara, help me. Barbara, why won't you help me? Why won't you help me, Barbara?
Speak a little louder, would you? Tell me, what is that you want? What's that? What's that, Uncle? I couldn't quite hear you.
I think my back is broken.
You say you want some hot chocolate? Do you want it in the English bone china cup? What is your pleasure, Uncle? What do you want? You want me to close the drapes and shut the windows? Barbara? Barbara? You want Barbara? She's right here, love. Standing right above you. Can't you see her? Can't you hear her? You ancient albatross with a dirty mouth! Uncle Simon? Uncle Simon, please don't tire at this moment. You can hold on. Just for a second. I want to tell you something. I want to make an announcement. As of this very second, I have quit suffering because of you. I am no longer sowing, Uncle Simon. As of right now, I am going to reap. Hey world, I'm back. I'm really back. If you give me the sense of it, I can dispose of some things.
That, my dear, is the sense of it. The will very explicitly requires that you throw away nothing. You keep everything intact.
I see.
The house, its furnishings, everything goes to you in your name. The condition is, of course, that you remain here.
Where would I go? This is my home.
Of course, but the document is quite clear in its intent. Everything will remain in your name so long as you're on the premises. The same thing applies to the various securities and the cash, which is quite sizable. It's set up in trust. You're to draw the interest adhering so long as you remain in the house.
Can I find anybody with a hand as big a heart as his?
Now, this is a letter your uncle had delivered to my office. His instructions were to include it in the will.
Add this codicil addition to stipulation?
The sense of this is that to qualify for the other legacies, there's one additional stipulation. You're to care for all of your uncle's experiments.
Care for? That's odd. I don't understand. Mr. Schwimmer, what experiments did he need?
I have no idea, but it reads as follows. My beloved niece Barbara will be responsible for the well-being of my latest experiment. She will look after it and see to its wants and needs. A member of the law firm Schwimmer will visit each week to see if the stipulation is adhered to. In the event my beloved niece Barbara fails to comply with the provisions hereof, I hereby give and banquet all property, both real and personal, to the State University. Now, the sense of that, Miss Polk, just what is the sense of that? I gather it depends on the nature of his experiment.
He refers it to as it.
You have no idea what it is?
No idea at all.
Well, nothing in here of any consequence.
How do you do? I am a mechanical man built by your late Uncle Simon Polk. Your opening the door has activated all of my operating relays. Be patient with me. because according to plan, it will be several days before I can function at maximum capacity. I bid you greetings. Hello, Barbara. Barbara. Barbara.
Going out, Frankenstein. If you need anything, like a can of lubricant, get it yourself.
You must not leave. Mr. Schwimmer is coming tonight. A week has gone by. Isn't Mr. Schwimmer coming?
Yes, Mr. Schwimmer is coming. He'll be here at 8.
Good.
Good. Good for what?
You will see that I am functioning properly. You see, I am like an infant. I am maturing gradually. Soon I will have all my faculties. I will be able to perform all my functions. I will be a whole being.
How nice. Be a whole being. And then what'll happen?
I will take on human attributes, those which your Uncle Simon saw fit to give me.
My Uncle Simon. That was a prince of a man.
A brilliant man. This is interesting. This is very interesting. It is coming through now.
What is it?
A craving, a new craving. Hot chocolate. I would love a cup of hot chocolate.
Miss Polk. Well, you look lovely, Miss Polk. And how is young Master Polk,
You took those keys off the desk. Give them back to me.
Oh no, I mustn't. I must keep the laboratory doors locked. You must not come down. It is my room. It belongs to me. Barbara, won't you please bring me some hot chocolate? After you bring me my hot chocolate, would you please close all the windows and pull the drapes? I don't like the light. I don't like the draft. What is the matter, Barbara? Tell me, please. What is the matter? What is the matter? What is the matter, you peanut-headed sample of nature's carelessness? Barbara, Barbara, help me, help me. Ah.
How are you this evening, Miss Polk? Yeah, is rather quiet these days. Doesn't seem to say much.
He makes his wants known.
Pity about his leg, but he manages to get around, doesn't he?
Indeed he does. Indeed he does.
Well, I'll see you next week. Take care of yourself. No need to show me out.
Barbara, 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 my dear, if you could prevail upon that Raggedy Ann carcass of yours to exert itself, I'd like a cup of hot chocolate. I would like it in the English bone china cup, and if it's not hot, I'll throw it on the floor.
All right, I'll make some.
Speak up, you lint-headed clod. I couldn't hear you.
I'll make some hot chocolate.
Move, you topping lotus eater. Make sure it's hot. Do you hear me? Make sure it's hot. What does it take to make you move, you bovine crab?
I'll fix it for you now.
Well, fix it for me now, what?
I'll fix it for you now, Uncle.
A metal man who goes by the name of Simon, whose life, as well as his body, has been stamped on for him. And the woman who tends to him, the Lady Barbara, who's discovered belatedly that all bad things don't come to an end. And once a bed is made, it's necessary you sleep in it. Tonight's uncomfortable little exercise in avians and ottomans from the Twilight Zone.